Hi, I would like to talk to you about something I've recently seen about how to make the most out of my experience of life. And it's about how listening can be a way of showing up in the world, a way of showing up in life in general. I recently saw a video for the second time. The first time I saw it, it was recommended to me by someone that I only knew a little bit. We had a conversation and it was okay. But I didn't really know this guy. I didn't get any insights from our conversation. And I didn't know if I could trust him. But I saw the video he recommended and I hated every second of it. I even fast forwarded it because it was more than 2 hours long. And for each second almost I saw, I collected more and more of my negative thoughts as proof, as this is not something I would like to spend my time doing. But who knows, maybe it will be better. But since I was looking for and collecting for all my proofs that this is nothing for me, of course, I couldn't see anything else than that. And recently my mentor, Nick Bottini, asked me to view that video again. And he is someone that I trust. We've had several conversations. I'm in apprenticeship with him, so I paid him a good deal of money. It would be foolish of me not to try again. And he gave me a task. He said, try to be open and look for the gold. Try to see if you can watch this as it is the first time. And I was committed to do my best. Before I started, I reminded myself about what I've learned about deep listening. I've been to a couple of retreats with Jack Pransky, and one of the things that I've seen about this kind of listening is how we can, get a deeper understanding of what's being said, what's being communicated in the energy between in between those who are in a conversation. And there's a barrier that comes between us when I start to listen to my own thoughts more than the other person. And the thoughts could be of anything. It could be, what should I have for dinner? Or, I already know the answer to this one. How can I put that in a way that makes me sound clever and they will understand it? And what am I going to say? What will be my response? Or they are so they are so totally misunderstanding this. I know what's right. Having judgmental thoughts. Or comparing. Yeah. This is exactly what happened to me. So I know. I know about this. Or, oh my gosh, not again. I've heard this for 100 times. I know exactly what you're going to say. I know exactly what you mean. So when we listen to our own thinking, we risk missing out on something very important about the other. Because we are not them. So what they experience will always be different than what we experience. So deep listening is about recognizing when I have these thoughts and then just allow them to be there, but they're not important. I don't take notice of them, and then they will disappear. I'm just open to receive what's coming towards me, like an empty vessel. So I used this experience with deep listening when I was listening to this video again. And I also reminded myself that I have been impacted by someone when I least at all expected it, and turned my life upside down, actually. And he wasn't clever or understood the world as I understand it. So we were very different, and yet my life was never the same after that experience. So I knew that I could be impacted. And listening this way, I was able to be open most of the time. I recognized my thinking, and I recognized it as my thinking, and chose to be open instead of following my thoughts. And after that video, one thing that stands out for me of what he was describing is, how do I choose to be present in my life? How do I choose to show up? And then it became, well, am I present? Like, really? How do I choose to show up in this world with the time that I have, the limited time we all have in this world? Am I living life from dedication or just an autopilot? Because 3 years ago, I had this insight that made me really want to feel that I'm alive. And that was this person I talked about. And life hasn't been the same, because then I found the source of joy to life within me. And now I see I still have more to learn. Because I see that what opened me for transformation of how I meet up in life, how I show up in life, is the way that I listened. I was open, I was curious, but with this positive experience 3 years ago, that transformed my life, I also had a positive memory. Even though that memory happened almost 30 years earlier and was brief. I think that memory and that experience, that positive experience, was a reason that I felt safe, as well as open and curious. And I was ready to be impacted again, because I knew it was safe. I knew. Not here, but I knew. And that it was possible, because it had already happened, that he did impact me. Not in a huge way, but he made my life brighter that time. So when I saw this, I thought, what can I learn? To be met by someone, and I didn't know him that time at all. What can I learn from that meeting, and then see the value of that when it comes to a transformation of my own life 30 years later? How can I contribute so others can feel open and curious and safe, so that they might be ready to see life in a different way? Maybe by being open, curious, and safe myself. Because how he met me. That was how he showed up. That, and just a general love, unconditional love for mankind. And maybe being open and curious and safe are just different sides of the same thing. Love. A friend of mine said to me earlier today, imagine there's a whole new life existing already beyond our thinking. And that's what I found 3 years ago, and I'm so grateful. I found that life. Nothing has ever been the same. However, it's time to update this version. So, until now, I have been good at being open, curious, and ready to be impacted in situations that have been extraordinary, like events or webinars, retreats, concerts. But what will happen if I turn those extraordinary events and add all the daily day experiences in all aspects of life? If I show up in life, every aspect of life, open, curious, and safe, how would that be? How much am I capable of deep listening to myself, to universe, and my fellow man? How will my life be affected when I'm dedicated and choose to do this a way of me being in the world? As a starting point, not just from time to time. I can feel that's something new arising in me. And it's like something's hatching. And as I'm thinking about making an agreement, I made an agreement with myself because I could feel that something's pulling in me. Something's pulling me towards making a commitment, an agreement with myself around this that could help me. In a way, it seems like a quite big project, and it's not so easy to see that. How can I define this in a clear way, as in a legal contract? And maybe I don't need to find out all the details right now. But I had come to a declaration, an agreement I just did with myself. I am someone who from now on chooses to do everything I can to show up in the world with love, openness, and curiosity, and being safe in myself, in all aspects, situations, and different occasions in life, by being a deep listener. And I'm pretty excited about this. And I'm so much looking forward to see how my life will change, because I know something is changing in me. So, thank you for listening.